story we want to get to, we have to get to before we end this edition of Tech Talk for today. Rather a quick story, and that is that we're talking about AT&T has announced that get some noise going on outside the studio. AT&T has announced a 50% discount on iPhones and other smartphones. Now you're saying, what? AT&T? What are you talking about? Well, according to a report by Geeky Gadgets and 9 to 5 Mac, because 9 to 5 Mac covers everything Apple, that AT&T announced a 50% discount on iPhone 5s and other smartphones. So if you're an AT&T customer, you're in the market for a new smartphone on the AT&T wireless carrier or wireless network, the wireless carrier has announced a new limited promotion that will offer half off some smartphones. Now the promotion offers a 50% discount on smartphones that cost between $100 and $200 offered in the AT&T catalog. That price range covers some of the most popular smartphones on the market, including the iPhone 5. So the discount is also available on the iPhone 4S, HTC One, Samsung Galaxy S4, S4 Active, BlackBerry Z10, and other devices. I just named those because those are the most popular devices right now. iPhone, HTC, Samsung Galaxy, BlackBerry. The special offer requires a new 2-year contract, obviously, to be purchased online. To get the same discount in the store requires a customer to trade in their old smartphone that has to be a model launched within the last 3 years. So obviously it can't be some old archaic 10-year model, but if you have a phone within the last 3 years, you qualify for the deal. It sounds like the better deal is to purchase the new device online, where apparently you don't have to trade in an old smartphone, but obviously most people have an old smartphone they're trying to trade in. But if you just want to get an additional phone, then the new online offer puts AT&T on par with offers coming from Walmart and Best Buy. Currently, that gives users significant discounts on smartphones. Walmart is selling an iPhone 5 right now for $129, with the older 4S selling for only $39 with a 2-year contract at Walmart right now. Now, Devin, you're looking and saying, man, is that real? I mean, what do you think about AT&T? I mean, do you think AT&T really needs to do something like this? Are they losing market share? Are they losing market share to T-Mobile, Boost Mobile, stuff like that? Do you think that? And I would agree. But $39 for an iPhone, and that's at Walmart. $39 for an iPhone with a 2-year contract at Walmart? People are going to jump on that. Keep your iPhone. You're still not impressed with exclusionist propaganda. I'm going with my Android. I hear you. Windows phone. I hear you. So Devin is like, even though that's a good deal, but you can keep it because he is an Android faithful. However, if they come with some funding for Pulse Media as Tech Talk, I might just take. We might be iPhone users. We might just love iPhone. Tomorrow morning we grow up like, get up. I just love iPhone. Why haven't we used this thing sooner? Yeah. Why didn't we use this? Google. Who is Google? Google what? Google how? So that's all it is, man. I mean, and I think definitely that, what happened? Oh, there we go. I think definitely AT&T is making a good move. I mean, and that just shows you what technology and the competition it brings. I mean, T-Mobile came out with their prepaid plan that offers $199 down with iPhones and stuff like that. And you recently got your Samsung Galaxy S4 at T-Mobile. You use their prepaid plan and stuff like that, and you were able to get some upgrades and so forth. But the phone still was far less than if you went to another company getting a contract tied in and stuff like that. And so AT&T sees this. They know that T-Mobile has a grip on the market right now. So something like this, and they're saying limited time. I think what they're going to do is see how successful the program is, and then they may say we're going to extend it, and that gives people the idea that, oh man, I better get in. You know, because a lot of times they'll say, well, you know, we're extending pre-orders, or we're extending to make you feel like, oh, you know what I'm saying, I didn't miss it, it's not too late. And then you run in and get it. So if you're an AT&T user, you're on the AT&T network, you want that second phone, or you want a new phone, you know, upgrade, I would say check this out. Go to Walmart.
It's amazing. I mean, I went looking to stay or to probably get into AT&T because I have Uverse.
Right.
I figured, you know, getting a packet with them, with the phone and everything might work out cheaper.
Right, with Uverse, and it didn't work out that way.
It was over. We were like, yeah. Right.
AT&T Uverse could not offer what you needed.
No.
So if you are looking for that new phone, you're looking for an extra phone. But you don't want to pay big, and you want the latest phone, Galaxy S4, iPhone 5, HTC One, BlackBerry Z10. I mean, all of those phones are available at 50% off at AT&T stores. You can do it online and don't have to trade in a phone if you go in stores. Any phone within the last 3 years helps you to, not most people have phones within the last 3 years, you know, not me, but most people have phones within the last 3 years. Well, we're talking here, one of our final stories, we're talking about the Withings Pulse, because we started our Tech Pulse here talking about working out, not started fully, but one of our first stories was about working out. Now the Withings Pulse finally is taking pre-orders, because they had come out for a while saying that they had this new product and we hadn't seen, hide, nor hear of it. Now the recent fitness craze that, you know, sweeping the US has led to the development of a lot of nifty gadgets and apps, you know, Nike's Fuel Band and all that type of stuff. Now the most obvious example being fitness trackers. You know, people running, they want to track their miles, their fitness, their heart rate, stuff like that. The Withings Pulse is the latest to appear on the scene. It was put on display back during CES as Withings Smart Activity Tracker. Back then, the company said it would ship in March, but they are just now starting to take pre-orders on this thing. The only noticeable difference is the name. Otherwise, it's the same device showcased during CES of this year. Now, the Withings Pulse tracker tracks everything from steps to sleep patterns, heart rate, and more for a low price of $99.95, which is pretty cheap considering that the Nike Fuel Band on your wrist, the Nike Fuel Band that you wear on your wrist costs $150, and it doesn't track half of the things that this thing tracks. The Pulse users will be able to automatically sync their device to their phone via Bluetooth 4.0 and can make use of the free app that goes with the device via iOS or Android, whatever you have. And speaking of which, the Nike Fuel Band app finally is going to come, or people are wondering, is the Fuel Band app finally going to come to Android? Who knows? But as far as this particular thing, the Withings Pulse Track, this thing is going to be able to be used on any iOS device, not just iOS phone, mind you, iOS device or Android device. So that means tablets, phones, anything that you have, you can use with this. Now, this $99.95 tracker, definitely, they're saying this thing is going to ship within the next 30 days, according to what they're saying. But they're taking pre-orders right now, so you could go over to Withings, WITHINGS, activitytracker.com, and you can place a pre-order for this thing, and you know, if this is something you want. The newly named Withings Pulse is now going to be on sale within the next 30 days, the company says, and it should ship. You can pre-order it now, but it should ship within the next 30 days. It otherwise looks nearly identical, like we said, to the one in CES, much like the Fitbit line of activity tracks. The Pulse will keep you tabs on your steps, distance, elevation climbed, sleep cycles, heart rate, all of these different things. Also, you can put your finger into the clip on the back of the Pulse, the Withings Pulse, and it will. That's how it tracks your heart rate. A feature that perhaps gave the tracker its new name, the Withings Pulse. It automatically syncs to any smartphone via Bluetooth, and you can see all your stats free with the free Android or iOS app. Let me just show you a picture of this thing, because this is not on an intrusive device at all that syncs up. And if you're someone that, you like to run, you like to walk, whatever kind of activity, but you want to know your stats, you want to know your sleep cycles. When are you in REM sleep versus when are you just in, you're just falling asleep? This thing right here, this is it. This thing will track all of that information, and you can sync all of that information with your phone, any iOS or Android phone right here. This thing is coming for only $99.95, and they're saying, man, that's a lot. Yeah, but if you try to get the Nike Fuel Band, you're going to pay minimum $150, and the Nike Fuel Band doesn't even track all of this stuff, from steps to elevation climb. So if you're a mountain climber, it'll tell you your elevation, sleep rate patterns, heart rate, steps taken. This thing tracks it all. So I know a lot of people like the Nike Fuel Band because it has Nike on it. Nike, you feel, the name brand. But this thing here, it's not a big name brand. Withings, not a big name brand. Probably many of you haven't heard of it. But not only is it cheaper, but it tracks more. And this thing was released at CES, and people were impressed with it at CES. They were supposed to come out in March. Couple of delays. Now they're taking pre-orders, so head over to their website. I'm telling you, I don't mind name brand stuff, but I think a lot of time people think, name brand equates to better. And just because it's Nike, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm saying it doesn't mean that there isn't something better out there just because it's not called Nike.
If they put this on the phone,
yeah,
there we go.
You're in.
I'm in, because it's just one more thing to carry. That's
right,
the only
yeah.
issue I have with it. So if they could put that software on the phone
and sell it as an app,
yeah, on the phone, I'm down. I'm getting it. I'm like
it's
selling
right
it
there.
myself.
Yeah.
I'm white labeling it. Because
and the thing is that I think that's what a lot of companies need to understand too. That you can't always, you don't just want to keep carrying extra devices on other devices. So they can come up with a device like this, but also make it available as an app for people, with smartphones to be able to use this thing without having to buy the actual device. I think they would get much more success as well.
Yeah, because if I'm a woman, that's going to be my pocketbook.
Right.
It sits in the office, which means that it's not going to track anything but how long my bag sits.
But at least if it's on your phone, you have it with you.
It's
so
tracking,
I hear you.
yeah.
Well, we've reached the end of another Tech Pulse. We're going to come back tomorrow, Friday. It's Friday, casual Fridays. We're going to come back tomorrow, and we're going to hit you up with some more tech news and reviews. We want to thank everyone for joining us, and we'll see you here again tomorrow for another exciting edition of Tech Pulse. Peace!